First, I should apologize for just showing up like this. My plan was to raise the ceiling and the roof and come down from the heavens and grenade in a ring of fire, blowing bubbles and showering you all with mochi balls. But alas, the city arts here, as they've been above and beyond as great hosts, but they drew the line there. Y'all, I'm an atheist, but it is Sunday morning. And dearly beloveds, we are gathered here today to celebrate this thing called awe. In this temple of visual creation and dance, to congregationalize with our higher awesomeness. Can I get an awesome? Awesome! I'll start with a confession. I see faces where they don't exist. I see faces where there aren't any. From the patterns in the wood paneling I grew up with in the 70s, to a trash can with that smile lid and a couple of bird poop droppings that look like eyes to me now. I'm always anthropomorphizing things. One day I did a quick research on this phenomenon, or affliction as some people call it, and it actually has a name, periodolia.
What is it?
Periodolia. Yeah. No, it can stop. No, just go blank. Yeah. No, it's not. It's all about me. I told you. Studies link this quality that some people have to empathy, connection. But what I found most often was neurotic. One article's headline was, "Here's what's wrong with your brain." Neat. But throughout history, several neurotic twits have managed to see things differently and connect the dots. They looked at a sky of random stars and they saw Orion. Michelangelo looked at a block of marble and saw David. When people looked at Hedy Lamarr, they saw a beautiful actress, but she saw frequency hopping. We now use Wi-Fi. When I need to ground myself or just need a good attitude adjustment, I often call upon the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech, and what I imagine was his first draft. I like to imagine that it probably wasn't "I have a dream." It may well have been "I have a complaint." Right? I have a serious bone to pick. A sizable beef. And he would have been justified. But that's not the speech he gave us. He gave us a dream. He helped us see something that had never existed. And amidst the suffering and the injustice, he had a vision to imagine what it's never been, but it's possible. And that's what we, my fellow beloveds, my AF peeps, facilitate. We ask, what do you imagine that's never been? What do you dream? Yes, you see a problem, you have a complaint, but how will you move to a solution? 10 years ago, I'd never heard of the Awesome Foundation. As we know, we like to keep it secret. And then one day I spotted Terry on the street corner with a rather young, tattooed, pierced, beautiful woman, handing her a wad of cash. I knew Terry a little bit, and so I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. That maybe it wasn't what it looked like. It really did. But I'm nosy, or nebby, as Emily taught me this weekend. I just went up and asked him what's going on. And that's what I learned, what an AF it's all about. I'd like to say my first reaction was I was inspired. But to be honest, it was more akin to jealousy, I think. I was an attention-craving child. I was just like, $1,000. I might have a good idea. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and within a week, I came up with an idea. And you guys, this is very important. I only came up with the idea because now I knew this opportunity existed. I only bothered to dream it up then. I found the website, and the application just asked 3 things. Tell us about your awesome project, how you use the money. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I was looking for that next field to fill out, the one that says, have you ever been arrested? Yes, I have. Do you have a college degree? No, I do not. Do you know anyone of great importance? Do you come up and study scientific studies that say you're neurotic? Didn't ask any of that. I couldn't believe it. It also doesn't ask you what sucks. What's your complaint? It asks you what your dream is. What are you for? We say. Well, I dreamt of a place with better transportation. I also dreamed that the new little commuter train that we did just get would have more riders. And I knew that non-riders who've never been to train become converted after just one ride. They become riders, regular riders. And I thought, maybe if we had an art exhibition on a train, people might hop on the train and they become riders, and not only that, see something surprising, maybe delightful, maybe weird, maybe not of their taste at all. But they might look up from their phones and talk about it, maybe with someone else, and converse and connect. And that's how Art is Moving was born. So I made the application, I checked my email 10 minutes later. I didn't hear anything. I checked it 15 minutes later. But a couple of months later, the Awesome Foundation called and they said they wanted to give me the money, but they just had one question. They said, and I thought, this is where they're going to ask me if I've ever been arrested. But all they asked was, can you actually get it done? And without hesitation, I just blurted out, I have no idea. And they said, well, think about it and call us back. Follow through was not my strong suit, nor was believing in myself. And I let that opportunity slip away. However, about 6 months later, those AFers called me back. And they said, we just have one question. Can you do it? And without hesitation, I blurted out, yes, I can. And nothing had changed. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just changed my answer and went from there. There's a widely popular old dance video on the YouTubes. It's grainy, shaky, bad video of a gray thing. There's this festival, and there's this one guy, only one guy, dancing. You may have seen it. He's not dancing well, I have to say. I mean, and I know him to talk. You guys saw me dance last night, flailing, arms akimbo. Remember the episode of Seinfeld where Elaine is dancing? It was pretty goofy, And this goes on for a while in the video. And in the video that was posted, they used the phrase "the lone nut" here. There's people all around, but they're giving him a wide berth, right? Then after a while, one person runs down the field and starts dancing with him the way he's dancing, pretty much. And the first guy, the lone nut, just grabs his hand. He's like, oh my God, I'm so excited you're here. About 30 seconds later, 2 more people show up. And 8 seconds later, 8 more people show up. And in the 2-minute mark of that video, it is a mob of everyone running to go be a part of this. Everyone jumped in. This video has been used in leadership training now. And they talk about where was the turning point? When did it go from being a lone nut to a movement? Anybody have any guesses? That second person that made him not a lone nut anymore. That is what changed it, and that's what we are. We are that second person. The lone nut is our applicant. I've got this crazy idea and I don't know how to do it, right? And we're number 2, and we can make it a movement just with our saying yes. Back to me for a minute. In less than 3 months, we had a transformation in transportation. 34 pieces of art, all by non-professional local artists on a roving art museum that traveled across 4 counties twice a day for over 6 months. Awesome applicants don't usually have a business plan. They don't have a marketing strategy. They don't have credentials or a clean record. And they don't have a complaint as much as they have a dream. But I met Allie on Friday night. She asked a question that I thought was really profound. She just was genuinely grappling with this. And she said, how am I supposed to embrace flame throwing or art of whimsy when there are so many orphans to save? When it seems like the world is rapidly burning into a pickled trash dumpster fire, right? She said, I feel the need to devote every ounce to those needs. I just stopped, breathless, in the question. I didn't even think about an answer at first. But I've not heard anyone here speak this weekend about any grant they regretted giving, no matter what it was for. Choose whatever feeds you, motivates you, moves you, what you're for. And I don't think you'll regret it. Slingshot awesome at anything. In the words of Mars Piercy, attention is love. What we must give children, mothers, fathers, pets, our friends, the news, the woes of others. What we want to change, we curse. And then we pick up a tool. Bless whatever you can with hands and eyes and tongue. If you can't bless it, get ready to make it new. I didn't have Marge memorized at the moment that Allie asked about. So what I told her was what I believe is that we walk through this world, it is vital to save this world. And it is just as vital to savor this world. As an artist and an art lover and an avid museum goer, I've actually yet to find a piece of art, a single piece, that was just whimsical, just for momentary amusement. Nothing that didn't also offer something else, a hearty laugh to lower my blood pressure, or make me feel a spiritual connection to someone else's perspective, or spark dialogue in my head, or start a conversation with a stranger that became a connection, even if brief, that release of what I call the endorphins. As we busy ourselves caring for others, let's care for ourselves, so that we want to and we can help another tomorrow. So savor the whimsical, the surprise, and the delight. Doing this will infuse us with the enormous strength we need to save this world and to see what is precious, delightful, and worthy of saving. On the heels of this all-amazing weekend, here's my charge to myself moving forward, and I invite you to consider it for yourself. 2 things. 1, as I reflect on all the brilliant ideas, inspiring possibilities, and practical solutions that I've heard this weekend, I've got pages of notes. I've been so excited and just want to do them all, right? I want to go home and do all the things. But I know me, and I know I'm busy, and I know I have 80 something or other. Doing all the things just isn't practical. So what I want to do instead of not doing anything and then shaming myself about it, I want to hone in on just one thing that really moves me, that I'm for. Just one idea, an addition, a modification, and see if in, say, 6 months, I can accomplish just that one thing. And number 2, I commit to sharing with the rest of my chapter these ideas that were shared this weekend, and see if I can get just one of them to take on one more thing. We have enough buttons for everyone to take home one more. Take one home, give it to one of the other trustees. They're great conversation starters. Even if you don't, the idea of starting a conversation just totally eats you out. Someone will start it with you because you have the button. My friends, this sermon has ended, but now the service truly begins. Go forth in forness and bless whatever you can, with hands and eyes and all.